Johnny Somali. He just can't get a W. He just keeps taking L's, and he gave them to himself. Apparently, he's facing 10 more years in prison. How is this possible? Well, this is what happens when you crash out in other countries. Like, don't be a nuisance streamer. And especially not in a country that's not America. I mean, come on. How stupid can you be? I kind of feel sorry for the dude, but he did it to himself. He's facing the consequences of his actions. And now he's facing the actions of his consequences.
This IRL streamer might go down as the dumbest influencer ever create content for the internet because he truly thinks nothing will ever happen to him, even though he's already pleaded guilty to multiple charges in his ongoing Korean criminal case.
I think he's living in another realm. I think his head is somewhere else. I think his head is like in this weird in-between realm where he doesn't actually exist, or he thinks he doesn't actually exist. And nothing can happen to him in that realm. And he doesn't care about what happens in the regular Earth realm. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
And still, he's out on the street racking up more and more felonies daily.
Yo, Atozy got a haircut.
While all of this is going on. And I've been covering influencers doing stupid stuff for over a decade now, and I've never seen someone continue to commit felonies in a foreign country while having an ongoing criminal trial. It's like he wants to be stuck there forever. And clearly this has taken a massive toll on him and his only friend who's financially supporting him, as his family seems to have started to cut him off from family funds. So I guess instead of reeling things in and trying to behave,
So that's how he was making money. His family was just giving him money.
He wants to find out exactly how much time South Korea can possibly give him. I think his confidence is still high because, you know, when he went to Japan, they let him go with only 3 months of jail time. But the big difference here, though, is in Japan, he was thrown in jail and therefore he stopped committing felonies while he was in jail. Now in South Korea, they have a different approach where they travel ban him and let him provide for himself rather than the South Korean taxpayer.
Yep. And they're just going to keep tacking on charges, the more he does stupid stuff out in public, and they're just going to keep letting him.
This seems to have kind of driven the guy crazy because now he's basically broke, banned on every streaming platform, so because of that, he has no real way of making any decent money. We found out that he wasn't being paid on Party, meaning he did this whole shirtless dancing stunt and then got arrested for zero upside. Not only is he the dumbest influencer, but also the most pathetic. But what he seemingly doesn't realize is the more felonies he documents himself doing, the more charges he'll inevitably get, and the longer his criminal trial will take. Or trials, because there could easily be multiple trials here.
What they'll do is they're going to tack on like 20 charges, right? He'll be facing 80 years in prison. He'll do a plea deal and get it down to like 5. That's my prediction. Maybe not exactly like that, but something like that's going to happen, I guarantee.
Meaning, he will continue to be stuck in Korea. So, instead of switching things up and actually behaving to get a lighter sentence, he starts threatening the Korean government and another YouTuber. Then he gets detained again by the police for doing some stunt in the park, and then to top everything off, for a small donation, he goes back out to taunt people the same day he was already detained, and 20 minutes later, the police were back on him. So we have quite a few things to talk about today, so let's start off with the strategical pivot at the Johnny Somali HQ.
If Korea does not let me out of Korea, I'm telling you right now, it is a danger to the Korean women.
What? I think I've reacted to this clip before, but what? Like, dude, you're in trouble with the government and then you're straight up threatening the people of that government. Are you insane? Well, I answered my own question. Yes, he is insane.
I have had so much with Korean women while I've been locked here. I don't wear any when I these Korean women. I don't get any STD tests when I these Korean women. I don't get any STD tests when I these Korean women.
I don't think this is happening. I think he's full of shit. I think he's just making stuff up for no reason other than I don't actually even know. I don't know why he's making this up, because there's no way he's sleeping with anybody. Dude's an incel.
And I make sure to spread whatever I have to all of these Korean women. And the police can't stop me.
The police can't stop him, he says. Well, they'll stop him whenever he gets 30 years in prison. 'Cause that's what he's looking at right now, I think, with all... That's 10 plus 10 plus 10. Equals 30.
The government can't stop me.
Does he think that will help him? That is a crazy thing to say when you're in a criminal trial. Now, I would be worried for the Korean citizens.
Well, he was drunk also, and drunk people are insane. Talking about people who get drunk all the time. And they don't think. He's probably got wet brain by now.
If he could pull anything else but his roommate Hank. I don't know why, but it's always the dudes who get zero play who brag about getting so much play. And again, he is his own star witness to that as well, because he admitted he doesn't get anything there. I mean, the guy is even denied from the places where you pay for it.
I haven't had pussy since fucking September.
Okay, do you guys want to know what happened when I went to the red light district with Hank? I'll tell y'all the story. The other day we went to the red light district, and the reason I didn't stream it is because every single we met in the red light district was like, no black, no black, no black.
So it's just more empty words from this guy. But the judge and prosecution doesn't know that, especially after he doubled down.
But when I go to Japan in 2029, I'm going to pull a Harrison. I kind of like what Harrison is doing. I like how Harrison is doing the super spreader stuff. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it right here to the camera. I'm not scared.
Yeah, we can tell. Don't know why. Well, actually, we do. He's insane, and he's probably the dumbest person that I've ever seen online. We need to bring back asylums, because this guy needs to be in one. Because he is a danger to himself and a danger to the public.
If I ever caught HIV, I would become a super spreader.
This is not free speech. This is threats. This does not fall under free speech. In my opinion, this is him threatening the public. And he should go to jail immediately for that. He should not be allowed out in public if he's literally threatening the public.
I'll say it right now. I don't care. If I ever caught HIV, I'm going to become a super spreader.
That's actual terrorism. It's actual terrorism.
Dude's entire existence is just being a net loss to society. It's safe to say he's going to be the most fascinating test to the South Korean legal system, because his entire strategy here is to disrespect South Korea as much as possible for some attention on his stream. Dude is essentially trading his freedom and life to be this edgy middle school class clown. Now, I'm hoping this is just empty words like everything else he says, but just like in all the other videos covering the guy, he will inevitably make things worse for himself as he decided to threaten to give the YouTube creator Legal Mindset HIV.
I could see Johnny Somali being the type of person that would spit on a person and be like, I have HIV! Even though he doesn't. Still assault. I could totally see him doing stuff like that.
Legal mindset. I don't need to fight that. I'll walk past it, inject them with some HIV blood with a needle. Legal mindset.
See, that's a very specific threat against a very specific person. That's actually gets me. So that is what you would call, and that's a threat. And that's what you call a pinprick attack, which is, you can Google it. There's actually Wikipedia pages about it. There's stuff like that about it. That is very much criminal to threaten, to talk about. And in many countries, there's actually specific statutes that relate to that legally.
I mean, the fact that he even goes out and says that shows how much of a lowlife this guy is. But on top of that, Legal Mindset goes into detail on what these threats to the Korean public could mean for Johnny.
But in Korea, if you actually went over and threatened people with HIV, you could be guilty of any of these things: injury, attempted injury, serious injury, special threat, attempted crime, murder. Also, Korea has a special statute, a special law called the Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome, that's AIDS, Prevention Act, Article 19, Prohibition on Conduct risking transmission.
I could see him getting all of them. I could see them tacking on all the charges and then not even giving them to him. They just, I see the plea deal thing happening where they're like, well, you're getting 35 years in prison unless you take this plea, and you'll get 5.
What does that carry? I know you all want to know, and that is 10 years in jail. So 10 years under that statute for any conduct that would involve that. So that would be stacking on top of his already full stack of issues, 10 years in potential years in prison. That's a maximum penalty there.
He's trying really hard to be a piece of shit. It's really not hard to not be a piece of shit. Unless you're really wanting to be a piece of shit, I guess. I don't know. Johnny Somali is an actual terrible person. And you know, I'm hoping something happens to him. It seems like something will if he's facing all of these charges and all of this time. There's no way that he gets 0 time and just gets banned from the country. There's 0% chance of that.
So naturally, Johnny panics and starts backtracking, saying that that was all hypothetical and in Minecraft or whatever. But dude, that's not going to cover you legally. And he's realized how bad things are for him, hence why his new plan is to eventually flee South Korea, apparently.
Going to Incheon, I'm renting a boat or an inflatable raft. And I'm going to stream sailing to international waters.
That's not gonna save you, bro. For one, they're gonna be watching you. They're gonna be seeing the stream. They're gonna know. They're gonna know.
As soon as I hit international water, you can't touch me.
That sounds like a great way to drown.
So yeah, it also sounds like a great way to get the government even more mad before you even are able to do that, and they come and lock you down and make sure you can't leave the country because you're a flight risk.
So what's the plan here? Is he just trying to sail to Japan, where he's also banned? Because if he was going from Busan...
No, he's gonna be going to North Korea. That's the only way to take.
His options are Japan, or I guess North Korea if he goes all the way up the coastline. But there's a whole bunch of Korean islands on the way to Japan. So there's no way he's gonna make it to international waters. He'll just get arrested again. Yeah, and that would be cool, Arling, except he didn't say Busan, he said Incheon, which is even worse for him, because then he only has North Korea and China and a whole bunch of Korean islands outside of Incheon. Great. Let's continue the video.
I think he's just saying stuff to get a rile out of people, to get people talking about it. But I don't think that he realizes that that's probably going to get him 10 more years to make it 40.
But a lot of people have also been asking how his family are reacting to his antics. And he's actually addressed this before he was detained in Korea. So I can only imagine how they feel after all of this now.
You guys are my family. I'm not gonna lie. Like I told you guys, my family disowned me.
Yeah, probably for good reason, because you were going to drag them down with you.
My dad, the other day, I was like, do I really cause you that much stress? And my dad told me, you caused the whole world stress. I'm ashamed to be your father. I was like, what? Dad, really? If I had a son and he turned out like Ramsey, like John, I would be proud.
I don't think that he's telling the truth. I think he's lying about this. Nothing I've heard makes me think that he's telling the truth about this. He lies about everything else about his life, so why wouldn't he be lying about this? Dude probably never had a dad.
This is a world enigma.
The only thing that makes Johnny an enigma is how stupid he acts. It's actually baffling. I've never seen a human being slowly self-sabotage and destroy his own life over the span of a few years for a handful of live stream viewers. At least not to this degree. This is just breaking records for being an absolute lowlife.
Why would you not be proud of this? Why would you not be proud of this? The only thing I'm really tripping over is because my dad told me he does not want me to have kids. He literally said, do not reproduce. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just go back to crashing out. Y'all don't like me anyway. I'll make a new family.
I don't know. Actually, you know, I felt some honesty, some truth in that, what he just said. And I agree. His father is correct if he actually did say that. He should not reproduce. But it also seems like his parents just didn't love him, if that's the way his father talks to him. And I just kind of feel sorry for him. That's terrible.
You can't choose your family, guys, but you can make a new one.
This guy picked a parasocial...
Oh, he's gonna make a new family. He's definitely gonna make a new family. And they're all gonna be in the Korean mafia in prison. They're gonna make him their girlfriend.
relationship with some viewers who hate him and want to see him either arrested or worse over his own family. The judgment on this one is phenomenal, but clearly when people poke him about this, it really strikes a nerve.
My father told me not to have kids. Yes, he said that. But for you to take that and make that a joke is not a fucking game. It's not fucking funny. Yes, my father said, do not have kids. He did say that. I'm gonna be honest. He did say that. I don't care.
Yeah, that reaction says otherwise, but
I think he's depressed and on drugs. Not real drugs. I think he's using the internet as a drug. And it's gotten to him. He's been drinking a lot, and he's on the internet all the time. And he's depressed, doesn't care about anything anymore. And it's like, when you get into that mindset where I could either kill myself, or I can attempt to burn the world down around me. You know what? At least I'll be doing something.
will he take this as a wake-up call? Absolutely not, as he was just detained in Korea multiple times in one single live stream.
What's your name? What's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Dude just doesn't stop. And either Korea is just incompetent or they're just letting the dude stack charges and stack charges.
Oh, hell no. What's your name? No, I can film you. You in public. What? Back up.
영국 깃발, 일본 깃발 밟으면서 유비로스 정문으로.
We in the park. Ah, here it come, here it come. It's crazy, you guys see? Police state. This is a police state. Don't listen to these police.
Don't speak, don't speak.
Don't speak? Oh, shit.
있는 거 좀 볼게요.
These dudes are for some reason still acting like they're in America. Meanwhile, Hank was deported from the US. He can't even be here legally. And Johnny can't legally engage in any political protests and stuff.
I didn't know Hank got deported from the US. What did he do? That's crazy. Was it drug related? Probably. I'm not gonna say that it was though. Somebody let me know down there in the comments. What did Hank do to get deported from the US?
South Korea, and that's exactly what he's doing here with his buddy Hank, waving around some CCP flag and stomping on other flags for attention online. But Hank ends up actually getting fined for this. And all of this went down in a 9-hour-long live stream. But throughout the stream, it becomes more and more noticeable that Hank is upset with this fine. And this is the first time that he's received legal repercussions for hanging out with Johnny.
It probably won't be the last time. He's probably gonna get wrapped up in all this Johnny Somali going to prison nonsense.
And let's be real, the only reason they're out doing this was to entertain Johnny's viewers. But Johnny, he was gonna make it up to him with a couples massage, but not before they do a desktop stream first. And here, he announces when he's finished with the Johnny Somali shtick, he'll be a doctor.
I think I'm gonna go to medical school after this Johnny Somali arc is over.
There's no way he actually thinks this. There's no way. This dude thinks he's the smartest man alive. Thinks he's gonna go on to be a doctor after all this is over. When do you think this is gonna be over? 5 years? 10 years? 30 years? 40 years? If this guy becomes a doctor, I'm never going to another doctor in my life. If I break my arm, I'll just deal with it. Better than dying by the hands of Johnny Somali.
I mean, on the bright side, at least he would be doing something positive for society, but good luck to anyone that has to be this guy's patient. To be honest though, I don't think he's being serious at all because he immediately starts talking about the future of his live streaming career. He also apparently view-botted the stream as he was celebrating having 8,000 live concurrent viewers, but the only issue with that is his VOD only has 15,000 total views days after the stream. If those 8,000 viewers were concurrent viewers and they were actually real, you would have like anywhere from like 150,000 to maybe 500,000 views on that VOD. So there's basically a 0% chance that these views were legit. But he also announced his plans for his next trial.
I went to a tailor in Korea and we got my customized outfit and it's gonna be ready by Monday.
Oh, great. We got some more crashing out that we're gonna be making a reaction video to. Look forward to that.
let's just say I told the tailor make it extra pointy. Extra pointy. we got some shit ready for the court. They got
In court, he says he's gonna try and make them look ridiculous, and then he thinks that he's gonna have a live streaming career after this is over. I'm baffled. Like, holy shit, man. This is the most interesting arc of the internet that I've ever been involved in. Not gonna lie.
mad at me for wearing an oversized suit. Let's see how mad they get this time what I wear. Let's see. That's all I want to say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna leak nothing. I went to the tailor and I got that shit extra ready.
I'm starting to flip a little bit. I'm starting to flip on how I view Johnny Somali. I'm starting to cheer him on now. Like, crash out more. Give me more content. I'm here for it, man.
I got it. Just like Kanye.
Is it all black or all white?
All black. Just like Kanye. Just like Kanye.
Again, I mean, this dude is completely willing to throw away his freedom to entertain the handful of viewers who watch his streams. He's just the prime example of influencer Darwinism.
Yeah, but you're not thinking about the fact that now you, Atozy, are making a video about it, entertaining me, and I'm making a video about it, entertaining everybody else. Not to mention all the people that are not just reacting to Atozy, who are just watching his video. Millions upon millions of people are watching this guy, but not on his streams, and we're watching other people's streams talk about him.
My guess here is he's just realized he's destroyed his life and he wants to make it as entertaining as possible for himself until he inevitably gets thrown into Korean prison. I also forgot to mention that apparently they're not happy with the local news coverage of them, so they wanted to show up to their offices.
JBC. The JBC News building is not even open. Who's the news that was talking shit about us?
JTBC.
So you want to go? You down to go to the headquarters?
Yes, and
Live.
and like demand an interview.
Dude, let's go. Do it. I want to see it. I want to see that crash out.
That's a good content line.
Actually demand an interview.
That would be good content. I'll give them that.
Me and Hank go to the Korean news channel that has been talking the most shit about us, and we show up to their headquarters live. And on YouTube, live on this channel and Hank's channel. And we tell these we want to interview now. And we're not leaving till you call the police. Now!
So in case you were wondering why they were mad, they covered how he's ran out of money and that Hank is now asking for donations to continue to cover and pay for Johnny. So after the desktop stream, they decided to finally go to that couples massage. But before they got there, Hank had to defend Johnny.
Somali! Hi! 친구! What? What the f? Yo! Yo! Wait! 안 때릴 테니까 가. Why you wanna fight, 친구? 친구!
After Hank defended Johnny, Johnny canceled the couples massage as he would rather just go and stream. So they parted ways.
Alright, man. Go get your massage 2 hours. I'll go chill at the house.
Johnny leaves and goes back to the house because, as he states, he can't be outside alone because, you know, the Golden Goblin game is still going on over there.
Guys, I can't be out here solo unless Gook Hunter is gonna pull through.
And he's also openly admitted to being scared of walking around by himself out there due to being targeted.
Yeah, because he actually is a massive pussy. If he wasn't, then he wouldn't be, you know, harassing random innocent people on the streets and police who aren't allowed to do anything about it. And if anybody does anything about it to him, they get arrested. It's bad. Bad ordeal. And Johnny Somali's really embarrassing these Asian countries' governments. I almost called them companies. That's basically what they are. And you know, I'm here for it. Let them embarrass them even more. Let them not do anything about it. And he just makes them all look like a bunch of pussies and morons.
Please don't say Odiga. I have a PTSD when you say Odiga. Please, I don't want to hear that word. That's Odiga is like hearing the N-word to me, bro.
That word is what the dude who knocked him out said just before knocking him out, which translates to, where are you going? But continuing the live stream, Johnny makes a mistake.
Chat, another bottle of wine or what? Chat, another bottle of wine or what? Let me see one's in the chat. One's in the chat, another bottle of wine.
So he buys the bottle of wine, goes back upstairs, and I guess gets even more drunk, and that makes him brave enough to go back outside, all by himself.
All by himself, like a big boy. He can go outside without having his daddy around.
Oh my God. Oh, it's the police. I'm gone. It's the police. I'm running from the police. I'm gone. It's the police. Oh, I'm gone. Someone called the police. Someone called the police. Oh, open. I'm closing the door. I'm closing the door on the cops. I'm closing the door on the cops. Go. Someone call the cops. I swear to God. No. I saw the police.
Clearly, he should have been wandering outside. He should have just stayed at home. So he got away from the police. Unsure if that could count as fleeing from the police, considering they actually had their lights on. But then for some reason, he decided to go back downstairs. Because remember, he lets his live stream chat make his life decisions for him.
Dude is actually sacrificing himself to the internet. He is a worthy sacrifice, in my opinion. One of the dumbest people that I've ever seen. Worthy sacrifice.
The same people that want him either arrested or worse.
One in the chat go down. You think I'm lying? One in the chat go down. One in the chat go down. All right, silence. I swear they were for me. I'm going down. I'm not scared. What the fuck did they do to me? They harassed me. I don't give a fuck what they want. Oh, they for me. I'm closing. Oh, no. Goodbye. What you want? What do you want?
Their faces, man. They're just tired of hearing about this guy, tired of dealing with this guy. They just want to be done with it. I bet they want him to be arrested just as much as everybody else.
조용히 해야 돼. calm.
Huh? I'm YouTube live. I'm calm down.
calm down. calm down.
You can tell the police are just so fed up with him at this point because they clearly have to deal with him on the regular. So they just end up telling him to go back home.
They go away from me.
찍지 말라고.
Chichu balago.
찍지 말라고.
Okay, bye-bye.
찍지 마.
Yeah, I'm scamming.
This is such a waste of resources, man. Oh, I'm cool with it. You know, I wouldn't do none of this. I wouldn't hang out with people that did this. But if there was anybody to make the Korean government look like a bunch of morons, it'll be somebody like Johnny Somali. And I'm here for it.
Go away.
찍지 말라고.
Go away.
No.
Okay. Go away. Stupid ass. Go away. Hey, go away. Go, hey. Hey, go.
비켜.
Huh?
So finally, they let him go back into Hank's apartment. So a lot of people are now speculating that Hank called the cops on Johnny when he left the apartment again, telling the cops that, hey, my friend is drunk and needs to go back home again or something. Which honestly isn't unlikely at this point. And we also have a recent clip that came out of Hank promising that he's going to sort out a place for Johnny to live. I'm assuming on either his money or his family's money, because that apartment that both of them are living in.
How much does Johnny Somali drink, do you think? Do you think he's constantly got a drink in him? Do you think he's constantly drunk? And that's why he just doesn't care and like he's just coasting through and letting his chat decide his entire life? He's just always drunk. I know guys that are always drunk and they don't care about anything. And they get into stupid fights. They get arrested all the time. I think that's what Johnny Somali is. He might just be a good old classic alcoholic. He just happens to be a streamer on the internet in Korea also.
Is tiny. Johnny's been there for months. I can only imagine how irritating it is to live with Johnny there. And then on top of that, having to be Johnny's sugar dad while you're living in a tiny apartment with him, I can only imagine how frustrating that is. So it's not super far-fetched that he ended up calling the cops on him. And Johnny hasn't streamed since that night, so who knows? Will he stream before his next court date, or will he just show up to that court date in his pointy black gown as he was promising his chat? But I guess we'll continue to cover this as this train wreck happens, but I also have like 7 other train wrecks to cover this week, so stay tuned for the next video. And also, hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. And also, we've been dropping some new collections over on Matt.City. We just actually dropped Seoul alongside of many other cities, and we'll have many more to drop over the next couple of months. So stay tuned there as well. If you do want to check out the new collections, you can go to Matt.City. Link will be down in the description down below. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
You think Hank's getting tired of Johnny Somali? You think Hank's gonna finally put a stop to it? And like, hey, I don't want to be involved in this anymore. I'm basically the one running the show anyway. You gotta stop. You're getting me in trouble. You're dragging me into this. This was just supposed to be you. We were just sacrificing you to the internet, not me. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's gonna happen. That Hank's just gonna get tired of it, and then everything's gonna stop, and then Johnny Somali's gonna have to face the music. Or not. Maybe he doesn't face the music, and then the Korean government just looks absolutely retarded. Who knows? Either one of those two things can happen. I got t-shirts down there in the description. You should buy one. They're my own designs. I worked hard on them. I'm out.